AP Chemistry Screencast 3.1. This is our eggshell lab. This is a relatively brief and not too challenging lab in which we will determine the calcium carbonate content of eggshells. Eggshells, you might be surprised to learn, are made out of essentially chalk. So we'll determine the percentage of calcium carbonate, that is chalk, in a brown eggshell and in a white eggshell by reacting a known mass of the eggshell with excess hydrochloric acid. The materials are brief. Get a brown egg, get a white egg. I'll let you know whether I'm bringing them in, or maybe I'll be lazy and have you bring them in. Get a mortar and pestle, a watch glass drying oven, and a big Erlenmeyer flask, some acid to react it with, and some filter paper. The basic idea is that calcium carbonate will react with hydrochloric acid, except for the stuff in the eggshell that is not calcium carbonate. We will assume, for better or for worse, that any insoluble material is not calcium carbonate. I think that's a reasonably good assumption. Is it a good assumption that everything that reacts is calcium carbonate? I'll leave that for you to decide. Okay, so you can read this little background piece or not. And calcium carbonate is found in nature, and a good quality eggshell has about 2.2 grams of calcium. There's calcium in it. So eat the shell if you want to get your calcium. The typical mass of the entire thing might be 5.5 grams. But the amounts vary. Fine. We'll find out what the amount is in your particular egg. The instructions are here. They're pretty straightforward. You'll react it with hydrochloric acid. You should know the balanced chemical equation. You will find out how much reacted, so you'll weigh whatever did not react. So you decant the liquid, you react it, wait till the bubbling stops, weigh a filter paper, decant the liquid, rinse it twice, and then filter it. So anything in the filter is not calcium carbonate. It's almost like a percent yield type reaction. And once we can figure out the filter, what's in the filter paper, we'll dry it overnight, think about what the theoretical yield should have been, think about what it is, and mask the filter paper and the residue, and here's what you need to hand in. A typed report. 1 per group is what I have listed here, so I guess we'll stay with that unless you guys want to hand in 1 per student. Let me know. The balanced chemical equation, the data table for each of your trials, with some average data. Also include the data table with data from all the lab groups. What we'll do is we'll have everybody put them on the whiteboard and just take a picture with your cell phone before you leave so you have it. And then the calculations needed for your experiment to come up with the solution. That's up to you. Please either use an equation editor, which I love, or write it neatly by hand, which is okay. Write the final answer for the percentage of calcium carbonate in both the brown and the white eggshell for your experiment, and give a detailed listing of the possible errors. But not just errors could have included blah, blah, blah. That's not enough. You also have to include how that error would affect the experiment. Would it raise or lower the calculated percentage? That's a big thing. A lot of times people don't do that, so be sure to also include the result of your error if it occurred. Okay, this is the eggshell lab.